Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. Today is Takeoff Tuesday. It's March 16th, and I'm excited to be here with you today. My name is Keely. I am your host. Our quote of the day today is self-belief and hard work will always earn you success. Of course, as we all know, we've got our nationals coming up. It's this weekend. If you haven't purchased your tickets for some crazy reason, make sure you get that done and that you can be present for these 3 days of online training. Our theme this year is shifting higher into focused transformation. You do also want to make sure that your address is up to date in the Helios system. That way your t-shirt and any reward or awards that might be sent to you will make it to you and not somebody else. So do make sure your address again is updated in the Helios system. We've got a great lineup of trainers. Bob is offering some really amazing bonuses for those who do have their tickets and are attending live. So I'm really looking forward to it. Last year's online nationals was excellent, and I'm sure that this one is going to be just that much better with it being our second year doing an online training. So really looking forward to it, and we will see you there this Thursday. With that being said, we are still doing our Thursday night events, even though we've got our nationals on Thursday. We've also got dates for Leaders Retreat. Mark your calendar for August 20th through the 24th. Our Leaders Retreat is going to be in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico this year. Very excited to see you all there. Mondays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. That is your opportunity to join the Founders Live with our CEO, Bob Snyder. He goes over some important announcements. And of course, this last week, he's been talking about some of the bonuses offered for the Renatus National Conference. And there's also a great training and a story of the week and lots of recognition. So do tune in every Monday to the Founders Live. It's through the Renatus Founders Live Facebook page. Monday nights, we've got our study groups on a national basis. So several months ago, but still fairly new, we're doing our national study groups every Monday night at 7 p.m. Right now, we're making our way through the essentials courses. If you haven't downloaded the Renatus Helios app, make sure you do that. There's a lot of really great features. What I love most is that I get notified when a commission comes in. I also get notified if a guest is checked in to an event. And then there's a brand new money mastery video uploaded to the app every single day. And you can also share this app with your guests. They can get logged in and view those money mastery videos for some inspiration each day. So those are some really great features. And there is consistently more being added to the app. So they're adjusting it pretty frequently. Every week, we've got our private capital masterclass. That's Thursdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time with Dane Clark. Dane has had a lot of success with building private capital, all from what he learned from our Renatus courses. So of course, watch your classes around private capital. And then as you're getting ready to start taking action on what you've learned, come to the private capital masterclass. Dane will help guide us in having those conversations and share what's been working for him. So those have been really powerful every Thursday at 6 p.m. And then we've got our dream call. That's the daily real estate action mastermind. That happens right after this call, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to about 9:45. Usually we go till 10 o'clock because there's just a lot of people out there taking action and a lot of things to talk about. So the dream call has been a lot of fun. We do record it and we do stream it live through the OES Facebook page. If you're not able to make it at 9 o'clock, you could always catch those recordings there. And then last but not least, we are on our marketing call right now. So Monday through Friday, we meet from 8 to 9 Mountain Time, and we get to be inspired by several amazing individuals who are really killing it out there with their marketing businesses. Oh yes, OES.com is a helpful website. There's a short video there. It's about 5-6 minutes long. Michael Huggins put that video together, and it talks about what the optional event subscription is and why you want to be a part of that, how that helps support the teams, and what value that provides to you for your business. So do check that out if you haven't yet. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, if you're looking to introduce your guests to our Profits Education, a great way to do that is to get them in front of Scott Rowe. Scott Rowe is doing the Profits Intro each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and you can find that event in the calendar. Just type in Profits and you'll see that pop up for Tuesday nights, and do make sure that you register yourself and your guest, of course, for not just this event, but for all of our events. Every week we have a virtual house tour. This is every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Last week we had a really cool tour. The individual is looking at a $61,000 net profit. Congratulations. So those are Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and those are usually about an hour. They try and wrap those up by 8 o'clock. And what's great about those is just such a powerful exposure for your guests. They can see what people are actually doing right now in today's market. They get a live tour. They get to ask all the questions that they want. We go over all the numbers of the deal. The slide I showed you just previously was an example of that. So these tours are very powerful. Make sure that you're tuning in, whether you have a guest or not, because you're going to learn something. And then every Thursday, we've got lots going on. So the house tour I just mentioned on Wednesdays is offered in English, and then they do that house tour again Thursday nights, and they offer it in Spanish. And then everything else you see here on the list is offered in English. We've got our Pillars of Wealth intro presentation, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And then at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, we've got our corporate onboarding session. And then also at 7 o'clock, we have our Velocity Banking Study Group for those who are in the Essentials or new students in the Essentials looking for some guidance with Velocity Banking. Richie GP is facilitating that, and he is a Velocity Banking expert. So make sure you tune into the Velocity Banking Study Group, and then we've got a couple of real estate study groups, multifamily and short-term rental. We do record these calls. We are on Facebook Live. Our Facebook page is Renata's Team Elevate. It's a great resource to be a part of. So make sure you do join that page if you're not a part of it already. You get to network with the team, ask questions, share your wins, and catch these recordings, of course. And then there's a lot of important announcements there. So do make sure you're a part of that page. And then we've got our YouTube channel as well. We just wrapped up 100 episodes of Zoom Up calls, which are short 15, 20-minute interviews with different students from across the country. And they talk about where they were before Renatus, why they joined, and where they are now. And so those Zoom Up calls are found on our YouTube channel. Really powerful exposure for your guests. And then of course, on our YouTube channel, you can also catch these recordings there as well. So 2 great resources, definitely plug into those. Today is Takeoff Tuesday. We get to learn from Bill Predebon. Before we bring out Bill, let's shift over to our money mastery exercise. We'll go through the video together and then spend just a few minutes at the end doing the call to action.
One simple networking event created America's most iconic symbol.
I thought it was me and I was off in space somewhere.
No.
Awesome introduction. Thanks again. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. You know what's funny, folks, is it's 7 a.m. here. Well, I don't know, it's like 7:10 or whatever now, but Arizona does not, right? We do not recognize daylight savings time, yet somehow we're affected the most. Like I have to get up earlier. Doesn't make any sense. It's funny. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that little tidbit of information out there. It's now 7 and not 8, so I don't even know what day it is. Crazy. Welcome, everybody. Keely, thanks for all you do. You were up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., probably getting all these things ready to go an hour earlier than normal. And I went outside today. I had to put a key under my doormat for one of my cleaning ladies who's going to clean out another property. And it's absolutely freezing in Arizona. It's probably like 50, but it's cold in Arizona when it gets that cold, because the ground, as you guys know, is so hard. It doesn't absorb any heat, and it's just a disaster when it gets cold here, and I don't like it. So there you have it. All right, let's have some fun. I've got some cool things in line today, and I'm going to ask for some participation. Thanks, Maurice. And you guys are awesome. We'd get up for you guys anytime, especially Keely. She is the queen of taking care of Team Elevate like no tomorrow, especially over last year, you guys. I tell you, there is a thing about, talk about allies. there is a thing about volunteer work with Renatus. There's a thing about serving. Now, obviously, it's not the easiest thing to do with online. You can't help put chairs out for people or escort people to their seats and stuff like that. But there's never not enough room for any of you to participate. And trust me, if you're not doing as much as you want to be doing, it's okay too. There's no wrong in when you're going to volunteer and what you do. Any little thing, the fact that you show up, it's pretty solid too. So don't get me wrong. But I don't know if you've noticed, but over the last 2 years with Keely, she showed up every day in a leadership role in Scottsdale as well. But there was something about, there was a change that happened to her when we went online and she went to Team Elevate. And I don't want to say it was like a change for the better or like a change in her and she changed her attitude. I just meant there was a shift, and we love that way. We've got nationals coming up in a shift. And that has parlayed. It has created opportunity in her business. Her business is going well. And more than one aspect in both real estate and marketing. So anyway, anytime, you're always welcome to help us out. I'll talk about allies, and then we're going to go. I'm trying to see if I know there was one comment in the comments about our allies being at the nationals and that all of us are nationals. Another one said that most of their deals came from people that see, I can read a little bit. People that most of their deals came from relationships and stuff from years past. So having those allies brings deals. So that's all true. That's all good. I'm glad you guys put that in there. I remember going to the meeting, and it was like a super Saturday. This is like 2009, maybe. I was going to a super Saturday at the office, and I wasn't a volunteer or anything yet. I wasn't really a marketer. I was just there showing up. And I remember talking to one of the guys that was leading the thing. His name was Mark. And I was all excited, like something got me emotionally pumped up that someone had trained on or something. It was a break. And I go up to him, I'm like, dude, I just want to be like you. I want to get up on stage, whatever I can do. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, don't worry about it until you're making 30 grand a month. Then you can come talk to me. I was like, the wind was taken out of my sails a little bit. This leader said this to me. I was like, oh, okay. I don't even know why I said that story. I guess I was thinking about my allies because at that time he was not an ally. But I promised myself to align myself with leadership one way or the other. So I just started volunteering to do as much as I could at the events as much as possible. And it made a difference. It may not be the reason that I was successful in Renatus or whatever, but I'm sure that it contributed. So let me check out here. This is awesome. Okay. So I'm just checking. Cool. All right. So I've got 2 things for participation today. It's going to be about you. It's all about you. It's always about you guys. Number one is, does anybody want to come off mute and share their ally experience? Share their exchange with their interpretation of this particular money matrix. Does anybody want to come off of mute and say hi and just tell me what you think you can do to look now for a new ally to align yourself with success? Bueller. Nobody wants to share today? How many people we got on here? 5 or what? What's going on? We got 59 people. Somebody's got to come off mute. I know it's early.
I think you should
I'll
just
share.
call on someone. Oh,
Okay,
Tamara.
there you go. Who's that?
Tamara.
Oh, Tamara. What's up, girl? Hey, what time's our call?
Right after this, 11 a.m. So I think it's 8 your time.
Oh, thank God, because I got stuff to do. All right. Tamara,
So
Tamara,
what's
share
that?
me some stuff. Tamara, share me some stuff. What do you got?
Yeah, so kind of like you, Bill, I just surrounded myself with people who were A, doing better than me, and B, were in positions financially that I wanted to be in. And just literally figured out like, what they did. I'll use the Huggins, for example. I would even go and go visit them and like sleep on their couch sometimes. And, I watched what Vanessa and Michael did sometimes. And not just them, a lot of the pack members. So right down the lines of what you were saying, Bill, I just, saw what the more successful people were doing and the people who were in the position that I wanted to be in, and started, shadowing it basically, or emulating it.
Perfect. So give me an example. You said you slept on someone's couch. That was a business relationship?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I know it's a little early for the kind of joke, but let's see. Well, so was that something you did to spend more time with them so you could get to know this person or hang around them, or what did you do there?
Yeah, for sure. I really only did it. I mean, I could have stayed plenty of other places, but I only did it so I could, see how they spent their time and what they were doing with their time, and, how they were conducting their businesses. Yeah, I mean, that was really it. Even, when I was flown out to do a Super Saturday and offered a hotel, I would have preferred staying at their house just so I can spend more time with them. Because people, our pack members, the pit team, like, I'm still always align myself so I can learn from other people who are in the position I want to be in, or a better financial position than me, just so I can emulate what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it from Jim Rohn too, like, find successful people, find mentors, and do what they're doing.
Totally agree. Yeah, I agree. So you guys, this is kind of leading up to the other participation part. This is awesome, Tamara. So it's not always like, hey, I want to pick your brain, or, folks like, hey, is there anything I can do for you kind of thing. It's one of those things where I think when you look at this money matrix and what he was talking about, it's the thing that is not easy, if that makes sense. Like when there's little sacrifice, then it's a little easier, but the result and the lesson is I don't know, maybe less impactful. When you have to go out of your way. I don't know why I'm echoing, but it's okay because I like to hear my voice twice. I don't know when you actually, like, when you're uncomfortable in any situation, so this is just another one of those places where, for example, when we would do the live, what am I trying to say? Events, and we were having an intensive, for example. One of the things that early on that I would do is I would want to try to take care of and or get the special treats or lunches or whatever for the speaker, so that, and there's even opportunity sometimes to pick them up at the airport, things like that, or drive them to their hotel. Those they're awkward, right? Because you see them in such of a different light or whatever, but you get this one-on-one opportunity that, and it's not like, oh, can I pick your brain? It's just like all of a sudden they may feel comfortable about talking to you about something. So anyway, I like the thought, Tamara. Really good. Anybody else want to comment, question, thought before we move to the next little participation training for the day?
I don't mind sharing a bit.
Okay. Hi,
So,
Patricia.
Hi. I found that when I redirected my sales to my win sales to these impact calls, and it really helped me a lot to grow. You guys are all inspirational and have given fantastic direction, materials to read, things to say. Just the energy that you guys give us has been so important and impactful, I'm sure, to everyone. But to me, it's always been an inspiration and has helped me personally grow and find the way that I needed to learn. So without Renatus, I would not have been where I am today. And I am way better off than I was 3 years ago. And these impact calls are very important. So thank you. Thank you for being here every morning. Everybody, Monday through Thursday. But thank you, Bill, for being here Tuesdays for us. So I appreciate you.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. You're so welcome. You know, what's funny about that is I, like you, I don't remember exactly how it started, but I remember John O'Neill doing these calls and at my old place. So that was probably 5 years ago, I swear, because I don't know how long I've been doing it, but I remember when Christian and Michael we got on a call and we were talking about the format, or we were talking about something when it came to doing the call. And then the opportunity came for me to do it. It's definitely helped me grow and helped me doing this has been a blessing. So I'm as grateful to be here as you guys are grateful to have me. So I appreciate it all the way around. It's awesome. I think I was just training on this last night with my team, and I don't know if training is the right word, but we were just discussing this, is that there is definitely a certain you always hear about the network and who you hang out with and stuff like that, but there's a certain thing about participation and showing up. And I know that we know this, but one of the things that, I don't know if you guys heard that, Keely, pick me up here on this. Is it Nico Watt?
Dino
Watt. Thank you. That guy spoke he's going to speak obviously at the National, which is where we're going to move to next, but, and we're going to take a little different spin on Nationals, but when he said that, and I think I might have mentioned this, but he said, hey, it's not always about going there for you and what you're going to get out of it, but there's so many people that you can influence, people look up to you as a leader. And we were talking about this, and showing up and being here is just as important to other people as it is to you and what you're going to get out of it. So anyway, just think of that as you guys move forward and align yourself with people in not only this community, but other communities that you're in. It could be a school event or something like that. We typically think about what's in it for me, but you could be setting an example for other parents. You could be, who knows the influence you could have by showing up real, showing up strong, not just showing up, but showing up on point at an event, even a kid's event or something. And maybe some kid recognizes your parenting and then tells their parents about your parenting. And maybe that influences that parent to be a better parent. And not that they're a bad parent, but you know what I'm saying? Like maybe take a little more time out of their day to be there. Who knows? Like, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but you never know who you're going to influence. So it's not just for you. It's also for people that, you may or may not know are looking up to you and feel that you're that person that they need to associate themselves with and with an ally. So just food for thought. It goes to me. With that said, okay, this is perfect. So we're talking about allies. We know Nationals coming up. I'm hoping Nationals week is a cool week. We all know that we're prepared. We all know that we spent a little more money investing in ourselves. We all know that we got 3 days of training. We all know that we got awards banquet. One of the things I want you guys to think about, and if somebody wants to come off mute and talk, or more than one person come off mute, and I don't know how this is going to go because it's not like I have ever done this before. So here we go. But I was thinking about Nationals, and the idea is that you're going to get a lot of information. And typically, if we think about Nationals, and I'm doing this, I swear to God, I'm doing this for myself. So you think about Nationals, and then you think about all the people that are going to train, and you think about, if you had to sit there and think about it, you may or may not think that, you're going to be watching a computer screen for 3 straight days. And then you're going to have a Thursday night meeting, potentially, that you might attend. You might have guests there. You're going to have a Friday night awards banquet, and you're going to be there all day Saturday. So, what's our attention span going to look like and stuff like that? My thought is this. Does anybody want to share with me. Has anybody thought about, or would you want to think about and bring out and share, and maybe some of us can learn from it, what you intend to do? Like, what's your intention for nationals to move forward next week? Number one is I don't think it's a good idea to stop marketing this week and just wait for nationals and just accept that as that work, right? It's extra. So your job, your business should not stop. Secondly, does anybody want to come off mute and talk about, how you can apply next nationals to next week? Like what you could do during nationals to apply it to your business simultaneously, instead of just learning and hoping that it goes from your heart to your head to your heart. Does that make sense? A lot of us like, oh, I didn't get any direct results from nationals. Well, what if you could? Like, what if you could go and I'm going to keep talking until someone just comes off mute. So somebody come off mute and tell me. But what if you could go to an event and you never heard about wholesaling before, and you went to a wholesaling event and you studied it for 8 hours or 6 hours, or even you went to a 2-hour luncheon? I could teach you wholesaling in 2 hours. And your first assignment was to, your first object was to go out and, find a for sale by owner and knock on their door. Obviously, that's something you could do on Monday night after work. What would be your intention on going to nationals? And maybe you can share with us so that we can think of it being able to implement it as well, where we can take what we're going to learn in the next 3 days and apply it immediately, potentially this weekend or next week.
Hi, Bill.
Yep, go ahead. Hey, Lonnie.
Hi. Well, I've been a part of the family for 4 years. And one thing that I noticed was I was just stagnant. I kept taking in information from pack leaders, president, just a variety of people that I met, all of you, which is just a beautiful thing. But what I realized is, well, I had confidence in several other areas where I'm competitive with myself. For some reason, I had a block. I kept thinking, well, I can only do real estate, and I wasn't confident. And so after going through some things and then just changing your mindset, I decided to be and do, and it motivated me. I took everything that you taught me, the good lessons, the subtle lessons, the hard lessons, my mistakes, and I just did. And I started different businesses, and I went out to different people and I helped them with their businesses. And what I realized is that this last year, even though initially I didn't make a ton of money, I was making contacts in the right ways, even with people I wouldn't maybe normally talk to. And I talk to everybody, Bill, but I didn't just do busy talk and busy production. Like, I was doing things that were effective and productive, but it started with me. And so I would just say, be, and some things you have to let it be, whether it's pleasant or not pleasant, because it's all part of your journey, and just do. And that opened a lot of doors, because instead of just knowing people and helping them to profit, which is great, that wasn't helping me. I was still broke. So I decided to just be and do. And you know what, Bill? It starts upstairs in the neuro. And so thank you for some of the harsh lessons that even you and I went through, because it taught me, right? I just have to do no matter what. Don't be stagnant. And sometimes it's okay to quiet your mind. And also, something I admire about you is that you have a schedule, but you're also flexible. So I looked at that and I really thought about it, and I thought, man, I really frustrated Bill sometimes, but I thought, what were the lessons that he was trying to teach me directly and indirectly? Because I had it in me, I just didn't know how to bring it out. So just be and do, and start with reprogramming yourselves neurologically. Feed your mind, like Bill and Michael and Bob and everybody tell you. Don't be afraid. Get out of that comfort zone, because my first negotiation and sale of a pretty specialized group who kind of wasn't sure about me because they're multi-gazillionaires, I did it and I rocked it and I did it my way. I closed faster than any of them ever have. I took a sale and did something that none of them could do. They've never done it. And I didn't tell myself I couldn't do it, Bill. I just kept doing. And so I'm really pleased because I did better in one transaction than I've done in over 3 years. And I've also learned, like Doc and Mrs. and Scott still told me, they said, she would tell me time and time again, you know, we're really frugal with our money. We watch what we do. And so that's what I had to start doing. Instead of just taking care of others, I realized, man, I got to take care of myself. That's what you guys have been telling me, because if I take care of myself, not in a selfish way, but take care of me first, it's going to allow me to be able to help the masses. So thank you. And I know it was frustrating sometimes, but it finally clicked.
No, it's good. It's we all have our
I'll
own
mute
journey.
myself, but just be, do, and guys, be willing to retrain, learn and unlearn, right? Neurologically, it really does work. And take what Bill tells you. It might be different from what Mark Kohler tells you, but do what's going to be best for you in your transactions or your walk or your journey. That's part of, I realized the lesson Mr. Snyder teaches us is he's giving this education. He's giving this different people, because what he is a teacher. He's a master of it, and he allows people to make mistakes and he teaches them.
Perfect. So I got out of that and you're going to nationals again then this year?
I'm going to go ahead and sign up, but I had a couple questions. I needed to know, can I sign up or do I have to sign up for the ICM? And I can just shoot you a message after. I don't want to take everybody else's time on that
Sure.
one. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you don't have to be ICM. You can definitely
Okay.
enroll.
All right, cool. Okay, thanks for answering that.
So okay, so what I got you guys from Ulilani is to be and then do, right? So perhaps to elaborate on that, or maybe more specifically, and someone typed it actually in the chat, right? Make a list of action items. So it could be that you just are choosing either something from one lesson or from several lessons, or multiple things from one lesson, or something from one lesson that you're gonna like asterisk and highlight and then do. So that's good. Anybody else want to kind of expand on that and share? I don't know if this is making sense, and I might not have asked the question. Go ahead.
I can give you a very simple, tangible example. Last year, so I specialize in the follow-up. That's like what I like to do and present. So when I saw Dane Clark's, I was like, I like that. I'm going to learn it. So I implemented everything I learned from Dane Clark's, and then I watched the replay of it, and until I now can do a full Dane Clark follow-up. And I learned that all from seeing it at nationals last year.
So,
I just took one thing and put it into action.
So let me ask you this, Tamara. So this is important, folks, I think. How did you determine to do, like you've had success and you're a successful woman in real estate, and then you've had success in the marketing, and then you're watching a Dane Clark. And how do you determine that you're going to go ahead and take his advice and like do something that he's doing? Like where in your mindset did you come up with the fact that, okay, I'm not just going to learn, but I'm going to try to do what they're doing. I'm going to actually force myself to listen.
Sure. Because Dane has results that I want. It's that simple.
Right.
And
That's the thing. You're absolutely right. It's, sometimes we get in our own way when it comes to, taking advice or implementing advice. But, and Ulilani said this, it's sometimes it's just selfish. And if you want to get what you want and you're not getting it, perhaps it's time to just humble ourselves and write it down and go after it and just try what other people are doing. And if it doesn't work, you can always change it. So good thought. All right. Yeah.
Nice. Thing?
Yep, absolutely. I
So
want anybody can talk, you guys. That's what this is for. This is prepping
thank
for.
it had been I've had meetup for about a year now, and some days it was, well, I hadn't had anybody attend, but I persevered. I kept going, and I'd be there most of the time. Sometimes I'd forget to attend my own meetup, but I would have it there when somebody would attend. If somebody would attend. And so last week I had my first meetup with 3 young ladies, and I implemented what I learned. I did the AIT, and so I implemented that, and I use a lot of the passion that I feel that you guys have, because as I keep listening to you guys, I start to feel like what you said. It goes to your heart. You start to feel the warmth from everybody, the desire that you guys have to help us succeed. So then, so that was pretty exciting for me. Last week was my first attendance at my meetup. So, it took a year, but it was well worth it, and I was excited. So don't ever give up. Just keep, pushing along and believing that, it'll come. You just have to build it, and it will arrive when you're ready.
Perfect. I agree. I do agree with that. And I think one of the cool things is that you stayed persistent with your meetup, right? And consistent. Consistency is key in this business, being consistent. But the other thing that we need to do is be intentional. So having a meetup, you have to, it's not that you have to do anything. You may want to reposition your thought process, reframe your mind about that meetup to make it worthwhile and to make it intentional, and that you will be there and that you're going to get people there every week if you have it for every week or whatever it is. I think that with this weekend's events coming up, so let's break this down. And there's some folks that have chatted to me privately, and understandably so. There may be some doubt, you guys. There is always, when we're offered opportunities, and nationals is an opportunity. You get opportunities every day. You go to the grocery store, there's an opportunity for you to buy something that's been discounted. There's an opportunity for you to buy organic versus not organic. There's opportunity for all kinds of sales to come your way. And it's some advantage for you. And you have to make that decision if it's an advantage to you. Nationals is no different. Nationals is an opportunity to take your business to another level, to learn from the best and things like that. But there's a cost when it comes to nationals. And, honestly, monetarily is not the only cost. There's a financial cost. There's a time cost. There's a gut check cost, right? When you hear a bunch of people having success, you got to gut check yourself and compare. There's all kinds of costs involved in any opportunity we're faced with. I don't care if it's an opportunity I don't even know, to just go somewhere that you normally would go during the day, and you want to take a different route or a faster route. Like there could be opportunity costs for trying to get somewhere faster because there might be an accident down a different road that you're taking, and then you're stuck in traffic. So my point is if you think about nationals, oh my God, I hope I don't lose my train of thought. Bob Snyder has one vision, and it's a consistent, persistent vision. And the things that he's doing for nationals he's doing regardless, like POR, press on regardless. He is doing this no matter who shows up, because he knows that when he brings this value, that these things are going to help. Not everything is perfect. Not everything is going to be the way he thought it would be. Not Helios isn't going to come out on the day he wants it to come out and be working perfectly, but he doesn't. It's part of the process, right? he's going to continue to spend enormous amounts of time, enormous amounts of money, enormous amounts of resources, and enormous amounts of headache and heartache to accomplish things for you. It's not for him. He's not bringing in Dino Watt and all of these trainers and then putting on this 5-star competition so that he can go to the Danube by himself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if he wants to, he could take his entire family to the Danube. There's purpose and drive behind each and everything he does, and he consistently does it over time. So you can imagine that the value being brought to this is going to be off the chain. There's always value. There's always lessons to be learned. Whether you want to take advantage of those or not is up to you. But let's see. I'm going to finish my train of thought so we can get another person out here. If spending $275 gets you just one sale, yep, that's totally true, right? This is awesome. So to get back to what Patricia's saying, folks, and then someone else come out, it's just about having the right intention. If you go into nationals this time with a different intention, and not just an intention of meeting up with everybody and being in the social light, and I don't even know if that's the thing. You guys know what I mean. And the online social aspect of it, participating, feeling good about that. Those are all positives. All our relator stuff is going to come out. All our director stuff and our validator stuff is going to come out with the award ceremony, seeing other people and wishing you were there and you want the next award next year. All of that's great. But with an intention of making money, of making a difference in your life, and then by default, making a difference in someone else's life who joins here, then we can have a different look, a different outlook, a different perspective. We could have a different frame of mind when it comes to what this nationals could do for us. There's enough content that's going to be shared at this nationals, in my opinion, based on what I believe I know, and I don't even know everything that everybody knows. The pick gets a little bit of extra information that could be a game changer for everybody, right? In their business this year, moving forward. So, and honestly, with the pandemic, I think the world could have been a different place already with the fact that we have Solidio, right? I can't even say it right, but our international product with the profits, and that's going to launch. And when that does, there's a game changer as well. He's constantly trying to improve. He is constantly physically improving the opportunity that we have here. So, all right, next, anybody else want to come out and talk about one last thing here, what you can do with nationals to just view it differently and not just absorb. Do you guys get what I'm saying? What I'm hoping for is that potentially 1 or 2 or 20 of you, or all 50, 60 of you would go to nationals this time and have a completely different conversation next year based on the fact that you changed your marketing business to where it became the successful business you wanted it to. I'm not talking about, you went out and made 250 grand next year. That would be great. But I'm just talking about a shift, right? A shift in your marketing results. Is there anything anybody thinks that they could look at it this way and do differently? They could take away and implement immediately? Whenever you guys share, I promise you, it's helping me and everybody else. Go ahead, Seth. Yeah, Seth, then the next person.
It sounds there's a little bit of circularity in what I think I'm understanding you saying is, when I go to nationals, there's so much that's new. It's the drinking from a fire hose effect, and kind of what what's landing for me is to go to nationals not necessarily knowing what it is I'll be doing, the day after and the week after to implement immediately, but that there will be some nuggets, some actionable plan or program or lesson that I can learn, and going into nationals sort of looking for it. Like it's like in Think and Grow Rich, like the secret is in every page. There's going to be something there, and I may not know any idea what it is yet, but I'm just going to take go through each presentation, and every time I'm like hearing a speaker or a trainer, I'm thinking, is this my thing? Is this what I'm going to be doing right away? And just have my notebook ready and put it right into my Google Calendar so that I don't miss the what I can do about it and get some power from it, for just like the excitement and the spectacle, and feels good to be with everybody, and that, just the vast, onslaught of information.
So Seth, I think this is beautiful. And I from the comments, everybody else is saying the same thing. If you can go into each lesson with an intention of looking for the Think and Grow Rich, that secret in every lesson, you can find it. It will come to you. And maybe, I just think that's brilliant. So that's perfect. That's exactly that might help people. You guys, we could go into each lesson with instead of going into nationals with, oh my God, I'm going to have so much information. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. And you're going to have all these notes and all this stuff, and you're overwhelmed, and you just put it away on Monday and be done with it. You got to take a break. It was so overwhelming. There could be an intention where, yeah, all that's going to happen, but you might also find the secret in 1 or 2 or 5 lessons. And so when you're looking for it with an intention, Seth, I totally agree with you. Great job. There was one more person. We got to go. It's 8:00.
Yeah, I just heard that they were going to teach about funnels, and I thought that would be good for marketing. I mean, I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I mean, if that's something that would bring value, then I would seriously consider going.
Well, you have to go, dude, because you're right. There is a thing about funnels. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Bob Snyder already mentioned it. We had him on one of our about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had him on the founders webinar, but he's the #1 funnel builder in the world, to my knowledge, and has built more funnels than anybody. And that gentleman is going to be teaching and is a what's it called, keynote speaker at our conference. So there's absolutely something coming. I don't even know what it is, but it's cool. You don't want to miss it, you guys. You reach out to everybody you know on your team, on not whether they're on your team, but I mean that you associate with in Renatus, and just make sure they're going to nationals. I mean, Bob's not joking around. I mean, he's prepared for this. This is going to be this is not an online event by accident because we had to go online because of the pandemic. This is an online intention. Like he's been setting this up for 10 months and spending a lot of time doing it with his team. It's going to be direct, as if it was on purpose. It's going to be good. All right. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for sharing. It's 8:00. I appreciate it. I thought instead of me just sitting here training, you're going to have all the training you need from the best of the best. You don't need to hear from me. So my idea was that we'd all share something with each other that would help us take advantage of nationals and come out of there, not just on fire and heart to our head to our heart, but actually have an opportunity to change our marketing business, shift our marketing business into a gear that allows us to have a little bit more success than we've had in the past when it comes to what we value as success in our business. So with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Dane Clark's call. I'll see you guys all later. Keely, thanks so much for everything you do. Folks, thanks for the comments, and everybody, I appreciate everything everybody says.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah. Awesome. I'll see you next week. I'll see you Thursday night. I'm doing the presentation. It's going to be sick. We're kicking
Thanks,
it
Bill.
up. All right. Bye, everybody. See you, Elon. Good to
Mahalo.
talk to you. All right.
Thanks, Bill.